Hello. In this video, we're going to go over complicated product rules that also include chain rules. So this will be quite difficult, but let's make sure we go very nice and slow. The first thing we have to remember is that F and G, when we derive the product, we derive the first one, keep the second, then keep the first one, derive the second. That is all. So the first thing I like to do is I like to set up what f of x is and what g of x is. And then we'll find what f prime of x accordingly and g prime of x accordingly. So f of x is ln of x cubed. G of x is cosine of x. Deriving cosine of x is simple, negative sine of x. Deriving ln of x cubed is not as simple because it is a chain rule. We have our outer system and then our inner system. Remember, when we derive the outer system, the inner system does not change. Then you multiply by the derivative of that guy. We must simplify this. And we can see these cancel with this, and we're left with 3 over x. So now we have our everything we need to plug in. And we're going to do so. So we have f, again, we're going to derive it, and we get f prime, normal g, plus normal f, g prime. F prime is 3 over x. G normal is cosine of x. F normal is ln x cubed. G prime is negative sine of x. Then just clean it up a bit. I don't know how intense everyone's teachers are and how far they want them to clean up. But this should be good to go for here. And there you go. So again, not too bad, but not the most fun problems. I can definitely admit that. So let's move on to the next one. The next one, we have the same thing. We're going to do the same thing again. Label out my f and my g, find my f prime, find my g prime. F prime is e of x. The derivative of e of x is just e to the x. It stays the same. We can write that over here just in case. Derive, remember d over dx is just derive, and just another symbol for derive. It's just the same thing. We should make that a different color. Let's put that into, I don't know what, pink. Make it pop out. All right. And then g of x in this situation is sine x squared. Now recall that sine 2x can be rewritten as sine x squared. I like to rewrite the exponent on the outside so you can clearly see the chain rule. We have our outer system. We have our inner system. When we derive the outer system, the inner system does not change. The exponent comes to the front, exponent becomes 0, then just multiply by the derivative of the inside, which is negative cosine of x. Oh, no, sorry, positive cosine of x. Whoops, positive cosine of x. Then we're just going to clean it up. F prime g plus g prime f. F is equal to e to the x. G is equal, f prime is e to the x. G regular is sine of x squared. Plus g prime, which is 2 sine of x cosine of x, times normal f, which is e to the x. Now we can see that we have GCFs here. They both have an e to the x, so I can pull that out first, right? It's 2 sine x cosine x. And then if you notice, they also both share 1 sine of x. So we can also pull out one of those. And we'll get e to the x sine x left with 1 sine of x plus 2 cosine of x on the inside. And that is that simplified. All right. Let's make that a little neater by making it a little smaller. All right, last problem. All right, so the first thing we need to do before we even attempt the product rule is that we have a massive chain rule. It's all to the power of 1/2. So I need to multiply it to the 1/2 before I even apply the product rule. Now we multiply by the derivative of the inside, which just so happens to be a product rule. And let's write it to the side over here so it doesn't get confusing. F of x is sine of x. F prime of x is cosine of x. G of x is cosine of x. G prime of x is negative sine of x. Remember, we have to memorize those as well. And just plug and chug. So we keep f prime, which is cosine of x, times normal g, which is cosine of x, plus normal f, which is sine of x, times g prime, which is negative sine of x. And then we are pretty much done. Sine of x, cosine of x, to the negative 1/2 times cosine squared of x minus sine squared of x. I wouldn't simplify that any further because it just gets too messy. I'd probably keep it there. Unless your double angle identities, then you can plug that in. But again, I don't think that really simplifies it further. All right, so these were pretty complicated chain rules and product rules, both combined. Two of them were product rules that included a chain rule. One of them was a chain rule first and then a product rule. Please send me an email if you have any other questions. Other than that, I hope everyone has a great day.